bodybuilding, and you were working with J.D. Dunn. What was the hardest times that you had with that? You said that you experienced some things working with J.D. Dunn. You knew some things that other people didn't know. How did
So
that
like,
come about?
so explain to her, give her your story on the day of the accident when you went through that part with Jay Dunn, because you hadn't did the bodybuilding yet. Because the bodybuilding came, you rehabilitated yourself after that. So tell them about the day of the accident, how everything went from the day to time you got there, and how everything went, and then your flow through that part, the epidurals, the medical stuff you had to go through. So lead them up until your accident, up until then the bodybuilding.
Oh my God, that's the fun part of it. Well, let's see. We was out there doing a foreshore parking garage up in Old Lather, and this labor guy, he was kind of a quack, kind of a kook, and I mean, J. Dunn had him as a foreman, and the guy didn't have no common sense on how to even do foreman, work. But they allowed him to come in because J.E. Dunn says he was a friend on when, I guess J.E. Dunn has a son that was mentally retarded. And I guess that kid worked with, and he told him he'd get him a job. And that's what they did. They put him in a place, allowed him to become a manager, a foreman, labor foreman. And when we was getting ready to do that deck, the little guy, we was pumping concrete up on a four-serve parking garage. And they had a pump that pumps that concrete up to those levels. And I guess they use hand signals for the operator. And old John didn't know how to do those right signals, and they had boomed that big old pump right over the finished concrete we'd already finished. And now all the boys was up there, finishers, was really complaining. Hey man, jerk, we done that already, get that. So he gave the guy the wrong directions, and like I said again, he boomed that right over the top of me, and I guess about 5 gallons of that mud came down, hit me on the right side of the head. C4 and C5 got fractured. If I hadn't had the hard hat on, I wouldn't be here. That's when I got the injury working for J. Dunn. They kind of had me to go to the family practitioner. And then right after that, I started having those headache migraines, really bad ones. And I kept on telling them I needed more medical. And they kept sending me to this family practitioner. And I kept telling the guy, man, I'm in pain, man. God, man, I got these migraines or something else. And he kind of didn't really want to give me the help I needed. So I finally went to a friend and told him about my situation. He said, well, hey, look here, man, you need to go get somebody else, which is a neurologist, to take a look at you. And that's what I did. I went and got old Dr. Righteous and told him about my situation. And that's when they started to, since I didn't go to their doctors, they wouldn't pay the doctor bill. And that's when everything kind of got out of control, because now I'm really in trouble now, because now the headaches are really starting to come in a lot more, where they was, causing me to, just be in pain for 3, 4, 5 hours at a time, you know what I mean? And I told this one friend about what I was dealing with. He said, well, you know what, man, you can use your own insurance. And that's what I did until they found out it was work related. And then once my insurance found out, that's when they dropped me. And they started me, at that time I was taking those upper durals in the back of the neck, I had 21 epidurals. You know what I mean? And that didn't do any good either for his pain, stopping it. So all these different events, I mean, things would say, me going back trying to put it all in perspective, some of it I can remember, some of it I have blackouts on it because, like I said again, the lawyer I finally got to try to get me the right, more medical help at the time. He wanted to sue J. Dunn, and I didn't want to sue. All he had to do was what? Take the case, take it to court, and the judge would have said he need more medical help. And that lawyer didn't want to do that. So I finally had to drop him, give him a certified letter, and find another lawyer to represent me. Because at that time I was having those migraines, you know, and I got this guy from Liberty, got him on board. So now his new gig is telling me, well, Mr. Gill, we got to find a neurologist to write it in writing that you need more medical help, and then he can take it to court. So in the meantime, now I got to find a neurologist. I tried that, went to different ones. It was okay as long as I told them it was. They said, well, if it work related, I said yes. Is it still pending? Yes. And these neurologist doctors, they would always refer me to somebody else. And when I found out what they was doing, I was like, oh man, that was real. They didn't want to have to deal with anybody that was still dealing with a lawsuit. And they didn't want to be a third party being involved in it. So now I can't find a doctor, a neurologist, to put that in writing. So that went on for what, almost a year. And now I lost my insurance. Now I'm trying to qualify to try to get Social Security.
What year did the accident happen?
Huh?
What year did the
Back in
accident happen?
'89. Yeah. So the hardest part, like I said again, trying to get, with my defect, didn't have no guidance, nobody allowing me, put me to where I could do things the right way, and have people that was a lot more what they call knew how everything worked. I didn't have all of those options. So I definitely was taken advantage of by the system, and then, like I said again, didn't have a representative. My family was not here, so again, I was all out there dealing with the stupid headache. I mean, kept trying to get the doctors, and they would always try to write me off by saying, well, we can help you. So the only thing they came back with said, well, if you can get somebody to maybe get you a referral to where you could go to the Mayo Clinic, you know what I mean? Maybe you can get whatever's going on fixed. So to shut that all down, that's where I left it with J. Dunn. And that case never went, so that timeline, 7 years, ran out, so I never even got any
So you didn't get fairly compensated for nothing?
No, because I went too long without following in 7 years. Because that William Atkins had my case, and every time I went to him, he was either with a client or in court or out of town. That went on for 3 years.
Well, after that incident happened, what happened to you after that?
Well, like I said again, I kind of floated back around, and that's when I went back to this gym. My friend Cherie, they invited me, Einward's gym, and they saw how bad I looked, and they was like, JJ, man, we're going to bring yourself on back up here. If you can't work out, just come out and just hang out, be with us. And that's what I did. I went in a gym, I got to see Hulk Hogan and Lex Luger, Junkyard Dog. They used to come in there, and I used to love watching those guys, and that's was the encouragement that gave me that motivation. And I started riding the bike. I couldn't ride it that, for maybe 2, 3 minutes. And I kept on playing with it. A year later, man, I was riding that bike at level 5, and I got on that stair climber, level 12. I could actually do that for 20 minutes. And everything started creasing. No kidding. And that's where the workouts started to get better. My body was coming out of that, rehabilitation stage. And that's where everything started to come back around, and I started feeling good. The headaches, they were still there, but they wasn't bad. Working out, eating, and like I said again, they had me up there cleaning the gym, so I was there 24, I was there all day, all night. So I'd be there from time they open in the morning to time they close. I did that for 5 years. I got a chance to see all those, like I said again, wrestlers and things, and I know you asked the question, why, if you couldn't read, how could you learn how to use weights? Well, I learned how to watch those wrestlers when they came in, and I would mimic them when they would leave. Wouldn't be nobody in there. And I said, oh man, I got that down there. Then I went and got videos of Arnold Schwarzenegger, bodybuilding, and I would look at the pictures, and I would watch, and everything I saw with visual, I went in the gym and practiced. And I got it down to where I was so, they said, unique with what I learned how to do, listening, watching, and putting things in perspective. And I learned bodybuilding by saying, oh man, look at it through videos and watching other people. And I just would mimic them, and I got it down to where, hey, you couldn't tell if I was what person that had ability not to read. Because everybody come in and say, man, you got such a good form that you use on all of your movements. And well, I'm a perfectionist, so I had to do everything in a straight line and do it the right way. And like I said again, I got myself in good shape, and then I met this little guy by the name of Dave. He had a store up there at Metro North, the little old man. He did coffee, and I started training him 2 days a week. I never forget that. And that's where the personalized training started, with that little old man. And then the ladies, they would come in, they would kind of didn't want to come out on that workout area because all the guys made them feel intimidated. So I started catching them before they run to the aerobics room. I said, come on out here, let me show you some tricks. And boy, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and all of a sudden now I got 16, 17 girls. I'm out there shaping them up, getting them in good shape, and they was liking their body's transformation, and that's when it just took off, personalized training.
What lessons has your work life and your experiences taught you? What lessons have you learned out of your work life and your experiences?
Well, I had what they said, went back and just put everything in perspective. I came from a broken family. My father was not a man that was with good, they call it just good ways to put things in perspective. So I definitely didn't get the proper, guidance from my father. And then my mother, she was kind of a person that did whatever he said. So a mother love I never got. She had 5 girls and 2 boys. And with those kids, oh my God, I knew they couldn't do all the things that they should have. So I had what they call those moments where I didn't have guidance, and then somebody said, put it in perspective by saying, when you got ways to somebody show you the structures and how everything is set up, then you can walk and go a lot better, I think, So on my journey, looking back, I can always say this: I got to drinking, with buddies and smoking. You know what I mean? I had that lifestyle, and that's all I knew. You know what I mean? And like I said again, got down here to Kansas City, and started working out. And then, you start to realize you see so many people out that's broken. And I had been broken, because all the defects that I had, well, now I can see other people that had them. So everybody came in the gym broken, and they all needed somebody to talk to. And they needed a good listener. And I always felt in that one little moment in time, I could listen. And boy, when I did that, I realized, oh man, that's something that they couldn't get from their husbands, or the wife couldn't get from their. So it's almost like you learn how to love people to where they even don't know how to love, and share that love, and you give them that what they call freedom of saying, whatever's going on, come over, we can talk about it. And that's what I did. I shared the love on something that I didn't have they call it certification, but I had something that was a spirit that allowed me to share that one little bit of what they call, man, it feels good when you got somebody to say, come on over here. Let's talk about you getting yourself back in order. And I learned how to put things in order because I had to get myself in order. So you're looking at a person that rearranged everything from the drinking, got into training, and everybody that came in, they had lives where they got hurt. And the biggest thing I remember, man, why these people hang around me? All because they told things to me they didn't even tell their husbands or their wives. And I would definitely sit there and almost like they needed somebody to just say, thank you for sharing and listening to me and caring for me. And it's so amazing, something so simple, love. And you can share that with others that's come in sometimes when they come in to work out, they don't feel good about it. And the ladies used to always come in with the big old shirts on and covered up, and oh my God, you could see the insecurities. And once they got in that gym, boy, let me tell you something. I made everybody, especially the young ladies, feel comfortable. Once they got comfortable, it's amazing because I saw the transition. They come in, you could see they had been bruised in relationships. And you could tell the way they walked, they didn't have confidence. And boy, 6 weeks down the runway, we changed all that. Now she's putting on makeup, and she's now got a little spandex on, showing her little muscles, and oh my God, the transition was awesome. And I started seeing that so much. And then I saw something else, the psychological part. Oh my God, she started to have more confidence. And I would always make them say, who's bad? I am, JJ. And they got to where they started doing that at home. The husband started saying, who's teaching you to talk back to me? But confidence. I said, if you can do this workout, ain't nothing you can't do. And that inspired a lot of young ladies. So in the Northland, I got a chance to train all these beautiful young girls and old ladies and teachers and moms and lawyers and police officers. And everybody got to like that guy by the name of JJ. Because I had something that nobody had up in the Northland. They said it was a little bit of peace on the inside, but what I had was passion for seeing somebody come in and showing them how to rearrange, put things back in order, and say, now see that? Now see what happened? You went from that old girl that didn't have confidence, didn't have nobody to tell you look good. Now you 8 weeks down the runway. Now guys used to get so mad because they always spend 5 minutes talking to that guy, 5 minutes talking to that. Hey, you better come on over here, you want your workout. So it's transitioning. That was the big thing that was a big plus for me because I got to see people came in broken. And
So you healed through helping them.
Yeah, that's why I rehabilitated myself, because when I did for them, I came back to me. Because when you know you need somebody to share, because it's things that you got that's hurtful. And my father was a mean man. He beat me, made me, put me in closets and on food. I got beat with water hose stanchion cars and all that stuff. So I knew about the abuse. And then when I started listening to some of the clients that come in, some of the girls was talking about how they got raped by their father. And then some of them was telling me about me and see even friends that taken advantage of them. So it was a place where I could relate. I could share, because that little hour that they spent with me, it was almost like coming out of a perfectly beautiful world and to get their little fix. And I had just what they needed, physical, spiritually, and mentally. And they would come in and get their little fix and go back out there and cut up. The biggest problem I had, once I got the girls looking really, really good, them guys would always sabotage them because they would take them out to eat all this bad food and they'd put that weight back on. I said, hey, don't let him muffle you telling you got to eat everything, you know, in the house. So in the meantime, it was, like I said again, everybody got to love the idea that gym had somebody in it that had character, and they didn't even know I couldn't read. And when they found out, they was like, JJ, we don't care. We don't care anything about your certification. And that's where the love kind of came in, and that's when I realized that, man, I had something that was special, caring for people and giving my best to make them look good and telling them, guess what, who's bad? I am, JJ. So it's just a lot of everybody up in the Northland knows that name, and they knew what they got when they went to the old gym called Olympic, because they put some t-shirts and put on there Body by JJ.
So tell them about the story where you starting to, you decided to train for the competition. What pushed you to train after the Jay Dunn accident? Now, what pushed you to train to go ahead and take it to the next level for 2,000 foot?
Oh my God.
To win the contest, your first contest. What pushed you?
Well, like I said again, I mean, I started having these ladies that was wanting to do competition, figure competition. And just about the time I get them there, about 2-3 weeks, they would what? Somebody would come in, always want to take them because these certified trainers said, well, JJ's unorthodox. He don't know what he's doing. And they always would wait until I was what? Got them almost halfway there, and they would take off with them. And that hurt me so bad because I thought, well, you know, you should have started with that lady. Why you allowed me to get you almost there and then you take off. That happened so much. I had so many haters at that time, you know, people just so nasty, because when you do something in a way where you get people talking about, the clients would always say, I don't come here to this club to be, I only come because of JJ. And boy, when they said that, that got me in trouble with the owners and a lot of people that was up in the Northland. And those Italians didn't like me no way. So I got a lot of haters, and then when I started watching everything,